I should add to this video on what is time. Did you know that at the smallest level, on a quantum level, if you examine every cell, there's nothing but spinning pieces of information, your DNA. It's basically just hollow, and there's nothing but information that spins and spins and spins. This information makes up who you are. It it controls what you think about, what your actions are, what your behaviors are. It's your DNA. Scientists are now starting to recognize that you can have control over your DNA. Bruce Lipton is one of them. You have to understand what DNA is, and DNA is basically just every time you have a thought, you think in chemical experiences. You don't think in thought in words. You think in chemical experience, peptides and proteins, and these get attached to your DNA. That's that spark that goes off every time you have a thought. You know, when you can see your brain is having brain waves, that is what's going on. So if you can control what you think about, instead of being on like a cruise control of your DNA controlling what you think about, then you can actually change your DNA. But my main point is that at the smallest quantum level, there's spinning pieces of information. Now, if you look in the bigness of the world, which there is a smallness and a bigness, there are patterns, and these patterns just keep repeating. What you find in the smallness is going to be identical in the bigness. And funny thing, the universe seems to be spinning. If you look out into the galaxy, and they've taken pictures of it, it's just spinning. Spinning pieces of information, and the world is spinning. Our world is not round. It's very, very dynamic. It's only round because we believe it to be round. There is a different dimension than the dimension that's held in time. Everything held in time is held there because of our beliefs, and what we believe is the only thing that prevents what you want to attract to happen instantly. Because what you think and what you believe is attracting everything you experience right now, right now, right now. It's happening instantly. The only thing is you want something different than what you believe to be true. And you have to develop the comprehension to be able to recognize it. So basically, there's global warming and all of the things that are happening. There is an awful lot of things happening. And a lot of this has to do with this big wake up that we're getting. These catastrophes in the Gulf, those are patterns. We've been having catastrophes all along. We just never paid attention to it. We've had oil spills that, by the way, totally destroyed the area. Still has destroyed their area. Court systems never followed through. Government systems never followed through. So we're still gonna, oh, the courts are gonna save us. Oh, these companies are gonna pay for all of this. Oh, it's all gonna get cleaned up. No, the pattern says it won't, because we're locked into the same pattern. Until we jump out of that pattern, it will remain the same, which means this is just the beginning of the catastrophes, because they're going to get bigger and bigger. If the catastrophes that we've had in the past, we put stories to them to make it acceptable. But there's been an awful lot, billions of people have been killed for our stuff. This oil is being, destroying our planet for our stuff. Just about every catastrophe is done. I don't it could be said intentionally, but it is being done unknowingly. But it's all being done for stuff, money, and profit. And which one of you guys would work for free? It's the system that we've locked ourselves into. And until we can get out of that system is going to destroy us. Um, I I'm going to go with the Mayan calendar and believe we're going to snap out of it. It suggests it will be the end of time. And I do believe that the only way you're going to understand this is going to happen is when that catastrophe is in your own backyard. And then you're going to go through the same stages that you're going to see people in the Gulf are going to experience. There's definite stages, there's patterns. First, there's going to be anger. So what is the government doing? They know they're going to be angry, so they're going to try and collect them and put them in camps, or they're going to do something. They're already preventing the images, the truth from being told. That's no secret. We've been doing that for hundreds of years. That's the same old pattern. We don't want to make you upset because if you were upset, then what do you do when you're rageful? Well, when you're rageful, you do evil things. You do harm to each other. You'll do harm to your family. You'll do harm to your friends because you're in a state of rage. Then, more than likely, they haven't woken up yet. So they're going to trust that the government's going to save them, or their lawyer is going to save them, and then once they find out that that's not happening, which could take 20 years, which we don't have 20 years, but that's the pattern, is it takes a long time for you to recognize these patterns. But there is no government, there is no corporate world. Take a look at anybody that's got any solution to it. Every time I watch a report, you know what they say? This is our patented idea. And it'll take us a couple of $1 billion for us to clean this up, or for us to be part of the solution. Have you ever noticed that every catastrophe, there's always a bunch of people out there that become our new millionaires? So, nobody's out there to do it for nothing. Everybody is going to wait until they get that big contract, which will never come because nobody's going to pay for this. That's the pattern. They'll say it's fixed, but it won't be fixed. That's the pattern. We always lie about what's going on, and a good majority of people are going to lose their minds. And you'll basically die before any courts even make a decision. That's another system that we've got going on, is prolong a court case until you end up dead, and then you don't have to pay because you're dead, or you can't fight because you're dead. And the court systems run in that way so that nothing will ever receive justice. So we don't really see that either yet. But my question, I guess, to anybody that's even listening to any of my videos is, how far do you want to go? How crazy do you have to make yourself go before you wake up that there's some serious things wrong, and there are solutions, but you have to wake up to it? Do you have to have it happening in your backyard? Do you have to go through these patterns that we've already recognized, or do you have what it takes to jump out of it? Anybody that's interested in wanting to know how to jump out of it, hey, I would do it for free. I'm doing these videos for free. I would share everything I know, but you have to be willing to want the information. You have to be willing to want to save yourself. You have to be willing to love your neighbor. Basically, the absolute hardest thing you're going to have to do is how to learn to love your enemy. Because what you don't realize, the biggest pattern is hate will make you turn into everything that you are hating. So if you don't like what the guy just did, trust, if you have hate in your heart, you're going to do exactly what that guy did to you onto somebody else. That's how evil is transformed from one person to another person to another person, through your hate. So it's a big pill to swallow, but do not live in hate. Hate gets you trapped into a path you don't want to go down. Love is part of the puzzle. It's not all of it. You can't just be the love, because just love doesn't solve nothing. Love is what will put you on the right path, and the right path of being able to recognize a solution with a very clear, calm mind. So meditation helps, because if you can calm and have a loving state and ask the universe and use your intuition, what's the right thing to do? What are the answers? You'd be amazed at what kind of answers you get. That's sort of like the shortest version of how problems are solved in a completely different dimension. So I hope that gives a little bit of understanding about what time is. Remember, it's all just spinning pieces of information, searching for the solution. So be the solution. Peace out.